Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Highruler, and today's video is talking about the Square Enix blog about what's coming out in 2022. Because when this came out on the 12th, I didn't really, didn't care for it, right? Kind of just slid under the radar. And, lately it's been such a stir in the Avengers community, right? We've seen things pop up on Twitter. Paul Tassi wrote an article, and it's like, wow, I didn't even think this was going to be, as big as it is, right? And I think what a lot of it has to do with is that we're still in the dark about what this year is going to provide, right? We still don't necessarily really know what Crystal Dynamics, Square Enix, and Marvel Games have planned for this year outside of some data mines, right? So if you've been up to date with the data mines, you kind of have an idea, I would imagine. But, the timing of everything, like we still don't know, right? And my thoughts are that, there's going to be a Square Enix Presents sometime, the next, 8 weeks, 9 weeks probably, right? So that would be their best time to kind of release that information, right? Unfortunately for us, but it does follow the path of last year, for example, right? So, when this came out, I was like, okay, like this is just highlighting some things, like not a big deal, right? Because when you go through it, Life is Strange Remastered, Babylon's Fall, the Chocobo Mario Kart game, that looks really fun, by the way. The new Final Fantasy Dark Souls game, Forspoken, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, Outriders expansion, Star Ocean, which actually that looks pretty good too. But I mean, like, just it isn't all encompassing, I would say, right? Like, obviously, there's some things missing. I could pull up an article here from Push Square where they're talking about Final Fantasy 16 is missing. What does that mean for Final Fantasy 16? Is it still coming this year? Is it not? We can look at Dragon Quest 10, which has been postponed to summer of this year. And then we have Dragon Quest 3, the HD 2D remake released in 2022, right? Like, there's a lot that's missing from this list, which is why I didn't take it as all encompassing at that point, right? Is it something that is a little weird? Yeah, probably. But, I can't imagine right now they would put Avengers on this list for the only reason that it doesn't feel like a list that you put Avengers on because we don't really know, right? So, imagine they put Avengers in here and it's like, oh, Avengers has a lot of content to come out this year or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, without the specifics of already, what's been out there kind of, showcased or talked about, like, it doesn't feel like Avengers would be on this kind of list, right? Because for the most part, other than maybe like the Outriders expansion, we kind of have an idea of like what most of this is going to be like, and I feel like it's just easier to put like, brand new games, that people may want to check out, or Outriders, which definitely is on. I will say Outriders right now is probably on a higher high than Avengers is, which means that, obviously you want to showcase that a little bit more than maybe, Avengers at that point. So to me, it's just like, is it the end of the world that Avengers isn't on this list? Not necessarily, right? Is it still weird that, obviously when you look at the kind of the timeline of the roadmap situation where Paul Tassi was supposed to see it at the end of the year, I believe, and there's really been radio silence. Does it all kind of make you wonder? I mean, yeah, of course, but what else about this game makes you wonder? And you can list off 1,000 different things, right? So I don't know, guys. I mean, it's one of those things where this list isn't all encompassing. We know that. Is it still weird? Sure. Does this mean that the game is dead, dying, and on its way out the door? Not necessarily, right? I mean, who really knows? I mean, you could throw up a coin in the air, it could land on either side, and you have a chance of being right at that point. It's not necessarily all encompassing of the reasoning, but definitely you could probably still look at this and be like, yeah, probably a little weird, and that's really it, guys. I know this is like a short little video here talking about something that's like very inconsequential, but there's a lot of people kind of talking about this and kind of going over it, and it's just like, I didn't know it was gonna be a big thing, man. I actually didn't know it was going to be a big thing. So that's it for the video today, guys. Just really quick talking about it. And with that being said, if you want more Avengers news, coverage, videos, live streams, and more, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a nice little comment. And I'll see you guys the next time here. Enjoy the rest of the day and the night. Take care of yourselves. Later, guys.